Yeah, I mean, I think certainly that is always going to color your lens in a particular way, right? I mean, you start with sales and you kind of end up with a sales focused lens when it comes to issues of operations. And I think it's always worth being cognizant of that because you don't ever want to be too over reliant on it. I will say coming from the team that's at the tip of the spear when it comes to selling, I think it does provide a ton of insight into how your product's being received, what it's like when you're having these conversations on the open market, necessary tweaks to the roadmap and stuff. All that kind of stuff is being generated from your frontline workers, your tip of the spear when it comes to selling. Yeah. I think this is an area where I've evolved in my career a little bit. I mean, for me, my whole background is data hygiene. Like it's just an issue that I've constantly been obsessed with over my career. It's how I got my start with manual data entry, but also looking at ways to like operationalize data quality, whether it's like going to the market and looking at third-party tools or using like Salesforce, for instance, Salesforce automations to sort of, and validation rules to sort of gatekeep that as sales are interacting with it in real time. I do think where I've softened a little bit is that I always want to appreciate that there are people at the end of these processes. So like the search for great data can't impact an end user's ability to operate within the CRM, right? Yeah, and I think because data hygiene is such a broad term and people always want it to be better, it can sometimes escape organizations that we really need to tie this back to revenue and value. And there are certain fields in the data hygiene world that are going to be more value to a certain organization, or that we need in a certain to set up a certain process that is lacking. And so I think it's always helpful to look at through the lens of what are the key core fields we need for initiative X versus let's just get better data hygiene.